Did you know there are approximately 500,000 children living in foster care systems nationwide? Are you aware that with the recent opioid epidemic, this number is significantly increasing? Kids are exposed to events that would create immense trauma, and then they're torn from their parents and sent ricocheting between homes and schools. This only adds to their stress and creates learning challenges. Our question: how do you educate children whose lives have been hijacked by neglect, abuse, and violence? How do we implement and make this accessible to all foster children? Let's back up a bit and start with the beginning. Ever since the Industrial Revolution, educational systems have pivoted from revolving around an individual's needs to the greater society's needs. This was done with the intention of furthering national unity and strengthening the economy. A quote taken from the University of Minnesota sums this up perfectly. They said that the main goal of education was for it to be a social institution through which society teaches its members the skills, knowledge, norms, and values they need to learn to become good, productive members of their society. It was seen then that education is an important part of socialization. Though this change in mentality towards education helped economically, it failed in seeing the importance in self-care. To this day, the educational system has yet to see providing emotional services as being as important as focusing on curriculum.
It's time, though, that we start thinking about the kids. Most foster children and children dealing with the stresses of poverty, trauma-inducing households, and other behind-the-scenes issues do not receive a proper education because they require more than what the system can provide them with. These children are considered outliers, weeded out of the educational system due to their academic and emotional difficulties, and given close to no help getting back on their feet. As a result, negligence saps these children of their resilience and can lead to an onset of antisocial behavior, bipolar disorder, depression, PTSD, impulsiveness, and even more. There are, of course, state legislations trying to remedy the problem, yet schools specifically seem to not be paying much attention to their foster youth. We did find that there is one school attempting to tackle the issue. Mott Haven Academy Charter School, established in Bronx, New York, is a charter school built with the intention of taking a more structured, trauma-informed approach to teaching. Haven has established a newfound consistency never before truly given to foster care children. Its focus is on giving these students repetition, predictability, and extra academic and emotional support. Teachers and staff intervene regularly, give extra attention to each student, and provide daily mental health counseling. What they have found is that Haven students are having greater academic success and greater emotional stability. Students once timid and shut off from the world are now expressing themselves confidently. These students are finding that they are given tranquility, serenity, and satisfaction in their learning environment. It's not only helping emotionally, though, because 2017 standardized test scores also reflected incredible student growth. 66% of Haven students scored proficient, while only 42% did so in the surrounding schools.
However, the education system and lack of aid for foster youth is a nationwide issue. One school in New York is simply not going to fix our problem. It's going to take time, but we think there's a solution. Here's our idea. In order to get a real change in our country, enough people need to understand the severity of the issue. Therefore, we must start with bringing exposure to the gaps in our education system in regard to helping foster youth. What Haven has done well is that they partnered with New York City's largest social service providers. This made the school closely connected with over 40 programs that could help, and thus they began to understand the kids' needs. We need to begin within schools themselves, spreading the word on how big of an issue the education system poses for foster youth. This can be done with the aid of clubs and nonprofits such as Together We Rise, ASB Aid on Campus, and programs like AVID, which already place a focus on developing better educational help for students. Also, by involving school newspapers, articles can be distributed to each student, which in turn can provide parents with the understanding of the severity of the issue, giving adults the chance to spread the information from school to school so that students will understand the topic fully. Ideally, such a movement of raising awareness would occur fairly quickly, but since such an expectation is somewhat unrealistic, a good start is going from county to county. Given the success of Haven Academy and the tremendous impact it has already had on hundreds of foster children, the government should support the creation of more specialized schools nationwide. Most importantly, support needs to be given to those most deserving, a second chance to live a happy and healthy life.